Picture this. You're in the heat of battle. Chaos is everywhere. Bullets are flying, cannons booming, and suddenly, your own army starts attacking you. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly what happened to the Austrian army in one of the most mind-boggling blunders in military history. Grab a snack, sit back, and let me tell you how an entire army accidentally fought itself. Hey everyone, I'm excited to dive into this hilarious, yet tragic event in military history with you. But before we get into it, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where everything just goes wrong? You know, the kind where you trip over your own shoes, spill your coffee, and maybe even reply to an email with the wrong reply all? Well, if you've ever had one of those moments, you'll be able to relate to this story, but on a much, much larger scale. It was 1788, and the Austrian army, led by Emperor Joseph II, was at war with the Ottoman Empire. The Austrians were marching through the region of Karansebes, in modern-day Romania, hoping to catch the enemy off guard. What they didn't expect was to be caught off guard by themselves. So here's how it all started. Picture the army arriving in a small town. They're tired, hungry, and looking to set up camp for the night. But before doing so, some soldiers, like any soldiers in history, decide to look for something a little stronger than water to drink. A group of Austrian cavalrymen stumbled upon a group of locals selling schnapps, a potent alcohol. After a few too many drinks, the soldiers started having a good time. But what's a party without a fight, right? Other soldiers soon found out about the booze and wanted in. An argument broke out over the schnapps, and, well, things escalated quickly. A shot was fired. Nobody knows who did it, but panic immediately set in. Some soldiers thought they were being attacked by the Ottoman forces. In their drunken state, the cavalrymen jumped on their horses and galloped back to the main camp, shouting, "The Turks are coming! The Turks are coming!" Imagine this. It's the middle of the night, you're asleep, and suddenly you hear screams of an enemy attack. Without any time to think, you grab your weapons and start defending your camp. The problem? There were no Turks. The panicked soldiers from the front line caused confusion throughout the Austrian camp. And before anyone knew it, the Austrian soldiers were firing at each other in the dark. And here's the kicker. When the commanders tried to restore order, they were mistaken for Ottoman spies. The officers were fired upon, the chaos escalated, and thousands of Austrian soldiers found themselves fighting. Austrian soldiers. The fighting was so fierce that the whole army ended up retreating. You know, this whole story reminds me of a time when I was at a family reunion. There was this huge miscommunication about where we were supposed to meet. Half the family went to one restaurant, the other half to another. Everyone was calling each other, trying to figure it out, and in the end, we all ended up at a third place entirely. It was chaos, but at least we weren't shooting at each other like the Austrians. When dawn broke, the Austrians realized they had attacked themselves. Hundreds of soldiers had died, and the Ottoman army hadn't even shown up yet. As you can imagine, this was one of the most embarrassing defeats in military history, and it severely weakened the Austrian forces in the ongoing war. Emperor Joseph II, understandably, was not too happy about this little oopsie. He even had to retreat from the battlefield in embarrassment. And just think, this entire blunder started because of a bottle of schnapps. So what can we learn from this? Well, maybe don't start drinking in the middle of a war, or at least communicate better when things go wrong. But jokes aside, this incident shows us just how much confusion can impact an army, especially in the days before radios and instant communication. A single misstep can lead to disaster. The Battle of Karansebes stands as a reminder of how even the most powerful armies can fall apart when chaos takes over. It's funny in hindsight, but at the time, it was a tragic and costly mistake. Thanks for watching this wild tale from history. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button for more fascinating stories about the blunders, triumphs, and mysteries of the past. And hey, have you ever had a miscommunication blow up into a huge disaster? Tell me in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, because you definitely don't want to miss the next one.